Well, hello there. Welcome back to the channel. I'm Aoife.
And I'm Dee.
This is a fun video.
I am so excited to film this video. We had this plan a good while ago because Aoife was scrolling as she does, trying to find weird ass Disney stories, and she told me a couple and I went, hold up, save these and we'll make a video.
Tell me no more, tell me no more. So I have compiled a list of insane stories from Disney of things that have happened. So these kind of stories are weird happenings in the park, normally by normal people told by cast members. Some are cast members talking about other cast members. Most of them are from Reddit. Some of them that I have come across that are hilarious I cannot put on YouTube because we'd actually be kicked off because they're just not suitable. If any of you want to find those ones, send us a DM over on Instagram and I will send you a link to the threads that I look at and you can go have a wander. It's at whale_pod_. Not suitable for YouTube, but definitely suitable for adults who like to have a giggle about weird things that happen in Disney parks.
So this entire video came about, if you haven't heard of this recently, is two separate people implanted the chip from a magic band into their wrist.
Why?
Like, totally do what you want to do. It's your body. It's definitely one where you turn around and go, what? Why?
I also have to ask why a medical professional would do that as a procedure. That's just weird.
I think one of them was like a DIY thing, which scares the bejeebus out of me.
No, warning here. Do not implant anything into your body on your own at home because that's just dangerous.
If you want to do it, go to a medical professional, go to a body modifier. They know what they're doing. Please don't hurt yourself.
But this is where it started, from us having a conversation with me going, I know weirder ones.
Yes. And then Aoife went down holes and told me many stories that I went, well, I'm never looking at Figment ever the same way ever again.
The other one is the tendency of people to try and smuggle babies onto Space Mountain.
And the amount of fathers who try to abandon their family in Disneyland is also staggering.
Staggering, like multiple stories, different stories of people putting babies into bags, people putting babies under their jumpers to try and sneak onto Space Mountain especially, and then fathers bringing their families to Disney, sending them off and be like, oh, I'm just gonna go to the loo, I'll be back in a minute, never to be seen again. It's the new I'm just going to the shop for cigarettes and never returning.
Disney edition. So it'll cost you some more money.
And like, some people are like, at least they're somewhere happy, but like, does that not just ruin Disney for you? Yeah, we went to Disney when I was 12. My dad left though and never came back.
But Aoife, hit me. I want to be jaw on the floor for 90% of this video.
So credit to Reddit, that rhymed, for most of these. And I will give anyone the link who wants to go onto those threads over on the Instagram for adults only. So here's one that I found that I just thought was hilarious. More so, it's super embarrassing for the people involved, but would have been hilarious if you were sitting there and there would have been so much, you know, embarrassment on their behalf.
Oh, is this just cringe? Is this like Cringetopia? Cringe?
This is really, really cringe. This is from a cast member. They were working in the kitchen at Cinderella's castle when a family of 4 came to dinner. Halfway through the dinner, the husband politely stands up, takes his glass and tappa. Everyone listen to me please, I have an announcement to make. And I would say everyone in the room was like, oh my god, someone's getting engaged, you know, something real cute. He announced to his wife of 15 years that he knew she'd been cheating on him for the last year. He then motioned for his kids to let's go kids, paid, walked out with his kids and left the wife sitting there crying.
Imagine Snow White just going, oh, go find your own prince.
Oh, I'm very sorry. So that one just, I was like, what? Like, the embarrassment you must have had. And the embarrassment for the people who saw it happen. Like, secondary embarrassment. So sometimes some of these stories are actually quite violent and dangerous. This is one that's not that violent, but some of them really are. So this is a cast member in Epcot. They have a lovely opportunity that you don't get in many other Disney parks to deal with drunk people on a regular basis. Even more so, apparently, during food and wine of the festivals. Food and wine is the worst one for drunk people in the park. So recently, a drunk guy punched 2 cast members in the face and hit a woman with a PVC pipe, all while trying to steal a golf cart.
I have so many questions. Where did he get the pipe? Where did he see the golf cart?
Did he think he could drive the golf cart?
Who had the golf cart? What land was he in? Was he in Japan? Was he in Germany?
Who knows?
These hard-hitting questions that I want to know.
So the next one is kind of a cast member story. So it was something that a cast member saw another cast member do. So there is a cast members bank that is behind Main Street where the cast members can go and cash their paychecks and stuff like that. This cast member was walking up to that bank, and just further up from it is a gateway coming from Main Street, and this door slammed open and Donald Duck stomped in, totally in a mood, totally annoyed, with Minnie, Goofy and a few other characters. The Donald then ripped off his head. Obviously the door was closed at this point, that, you know, no one could see this. Slammed it on the ground, really just totally peeved, and yelled, "Stupid kid kicked me in the..." Which is not very pleasant, even if the costume gave some padding.
What a phrase, dude. Donald Duck was protected by his padding, but not enough.
But not enough.
Not enough for little Timmy. Little Timmy knew the way around his pads.
This one is a weird one, and I kind of would love to see a photograph of where this happened to really understand how it happened. There's a meet and greet with the Beast.
Yes, it is in Beergast.
No, this is an outdoor meet and greet. So I wonder, is it in Anaheim? I wasn't able to find out where exactly. But apparently there's a tree and it's a garden. And there was a queue to meet the Beast. But this mother decided she didn't want to wait anymore. So she climbed the tree and dropped down in the middle of another family's photograph.
Well, like Spider-Man.
The thing is, I have found multiple stories online about this same place and this same tree and things like this happening. Most of the time it's kids, and I can kind of understand that. I could understand a 4-year-old being like, I want to get to Mickey Mouse, climb the tree. The parent going, oh my god, he's gone up the tree, he's gone up the tree. But there's so many about adults doing it.
Definitely had a couple too many Grey Goose slushies. Yes, slushies.
I actually think this possibly could have been at the same location, because this is about a Snow White meet and greet, and I don't think I've ever seen a Snow White meet and greet in Epcot, so maybe it was in the same location there. Well, this was in Epcot, it was Snow White, and this very random intoxicated gentleman decided to try and fireman lift Snow White and run away with her.
I could believe that.
Apparently Disney has a wonderful and very dedicated security team that are everywhere at all times, especially around these meet and greets, in normal clothes and in the queue and stuff like that, so it was handled very quickly and everyone was safe. Snow White then turned around after was physically taken from this man, dusted herself off and walked back over and continued the meet and greet, which was like the best thing that could have happened for any kids that witnessed it, but must have been so difficult for the cast member to do, because I would say she was physically shaking, as anyone would be in that situation. So we just have to give props to her for her absolute dedication to keeping the magic alive.
To be honest, I think any kind of face princesses, I think they get a lot of unwanted comments from overly eager dads or intoxicated boyfriends.
That was a trend that I saw in a lot of these stories, was people being groped as cast members, especially face characters and the princesses, while young children were there and they couldn't really react. But the good thing is the Disney security are watching all the time, you're not getting away with it.
Like, lads, just rule of thumb, don't touch someone like that for any reason, you know, unless you have consent, the magical C word. So this next story is in Animal Kingdom, and it terrifies me, because if this happened when I was there, I would run so fast out of the park you wouldn't get me back in. Rhino escape?
No, this one is not. This is someone who worked on a ride in Animal Kingdom, and they were supervising the queue, and they just saw an 8 to 10 foot snake emerge from some of the plants and bushes that were alongside the queue. It slowly worked its way through people's legs and around them and bags, and then went back into the bushes about 10 15 feet further along, and nobody noticed except the cast member, who just watched to see what would happen. And they don't know where it came from, because it's not something they have in Animal Kingdom that should be able to just get around the place.
I feel like this was up in Rafiki's watch. I hope this was up in Rafiki's watch. Was it?
Well, it didn't say where exactly it was, but it did say that there was no snakes in the vicinity. So this was a wild snake.
I would nope so hard out of that area.
I'd be gone.
It wouldn't put me off Magic Kingdom, but I'd nope right out to that place.
This next one is kind of linking on from me saying that people keep trying to sneak babies onto Space Mountain, which, I'm sorry, do not bring someone onto Space Mountain without their consent. It's not that kind of a ride.
Also, just don't bring a child onto a ride that they're not tall enough for. Those safety measures are there for a reason, not just to like upset your child. They're there for their interest. Honest to God they are.
Well, this is from Star Tours, and this cast member was checking seatbelts to make sure everyone was, you know, secure, and came across a lady with a backpack in her lap, and you can't have them in your lap on Star Tours. So told her to put it under the seat, and she refused. She said no, she wasn't going to put it under the seat. And then the cast member noticed that the backpack was moving. She was asked to open it. She said no. She asked again, said no, and security was called. Everyone was taken off on the ride and put onto another car, and she was left there with the moving backpack. Security took the backpack from her and opened it, and there was a baby in the backpack.
Come on, Jesus Christ, people, stop it.
But it was evident to security that it wasn't a case of the baby had just been put into the backpack. The baby had been in the backpack the entire time she was in the 2-hour queue. So they called CPS and she was removed from the park along with the police.
Holy moly.
Like, it's one thing if you had the baby in your arms and put them into the backpack just as you got there. Like, that's still not okay. But to have a baby in a backpack for 2 hours is like even more not okay.
Wow, wow, wee, wah.
So this one is kind of just the epitome of what this video is about. This is a person who is a scuba instructor, and they have colleagues who sometimes would take jobs with Disney. So this person was going to be a water goofy on the Disney cruise. So evidently on some of the cruises they have characters in the water or near the water. So he hangs out in the pool, and he had to agree before taking the job that in the event that he was in a situation of drowning, he would be carried away and brought backstage before his costume was removed, so as not to upset the children. And CPR would not be administered until they were backstage.
Wow. Some kids try to knee you in the balls and you go right underneath the water and hit your head.
You're gonna have to wait for medical attention until the kids can't see you anymore, cause magic!
You think they just get the old tarp thing. Tarp and bring someone else out. The old switcheroo.
A good few years ago, I think it could have been back as far as 2015, there was a Gaston that was challenged by a guest to do a push-up challenge, and he went viral. Now, I tried to find the video. If I can find the actual video in decent quality, I will insert it here.
Ready? Okay. Ready? Go! 1, 2, oh.
Boy, hurry up, we're slow! He looks like he's struggling. Perhaps he needs a hand.
Is this the Gaston that blew off his, who died because he shoved a firecracker up his butt?
No.
Did that happen?
No. I've never seen that before.
Something happened to a Gaston. He either died or injured himself.
Well, this Gaston was challenged by a guest to do a push-up challenge, and he did, and it's on video and everyone thought it was hilarious and it went viral. But Disney deemed that this was breaking the magic and the guy lost his job.
That would be confirming the magic to me, because that's 100% something Gaston would do. He'd be like, I am the manliest man.
Yes, exactly. And like, to be honest, it was really giving the guests this great experience of like fully interactive and yes, let's challenge, I am Gaston.
Especially an adult guest. Like sometimes it's hard to get magical moments with characters because you are an adult. And Gaston's normally the number one to get.
Yeah, no, Disney deemed it was breaking the magic and they fired him.
Shame on you, Disney.
I also read another thing that was about some of the Peter Pans from Disneyland, and there's at least one, if not two or three, that female guests have become obsessed with.
Yes, I have heard this.
And have Tumblr pages for them and have stalked their girlfriends, wives, husbands, boyfriends to try and get them to break up with them so that they can have the Peter Pan to themselves.
Haha, I found it. I found my Gaston. You know the weird one, I was like, what? So it was a former Walt Disney World performer, I'm going to not say his name, died Saturday in a fireworks mishap during a 4th of July celebration in Maine. He was 22. The dude who played Gaston and Goofy was killed instantly when he... Sorry, I'm so sorry, dead Gaston. When he attempted to launch a firework from his head.
Why? Why?
Big brain.
So finally, this is our last story. It's kind of another one of a guest doing something absolutely insane and cast members just having none of it. This is someone who was there, so they were also a guest. Two grown men fighting, physically fighting, over the last seat of a tram. One was with his family, the other one was alone, and the one who was alone, who was at park closing, decided he didn't want to wait for the next tram, so physically ripped the man from his seat in front of his children. Now, case in point, the trams come apparently every 5 minutes, so it's not a wait. The father tried to fight the man back and get back to his family because he thought the guy, I think he kind of thought the guy was going to go for the family as well. But the other guy wasn't having it. A cast member and security guard had to push the man off the father and helped him back to his family and told the man he had to walk back to the parking lot. They wouldn't let him on any tram. And the other one I have read quite a lot is people getting the last monorail back to their hotel in the evenings when it's quite empty, and cast members having to come on the intercom to tell them to behave themselves.
You're always being watched, as Roz says.
I'm watching you, Wazowski. Always watching.
That wasn't about Monsters Inc, lads. That was about you and Walt Disney World.
Always.
But on that note, I think that's all the what the heck Disney.
That is all that I have. If you want more, send us a DM over on the Instagram at whale_pod_ and I will send you loads of them once you're over 18.
I would highly recommend asking for the Figment story. Aoife will know what it is, because it shocked me to my core, shocked Sandra to her core.
The Figment story is intense. It's not suitable for here, but if anyone wants to, I will even send you a video of me telling it over on the Instagram.
It's very true crimey, so if you like true crime like I do and Aoife do, ask for the Figment story, she'll know what it is.
I also have one about the contemporary that is in similar routes.
But yes, if you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up, subscribe if you want to hang out for more videos kind of like this, because this is all we can do now that we are, you know, can't go anywhere.
And if you like this video or you have other ideas for like videos like this, pop it into the comments below. We're always looking for ideas. And with that being said, we are off and we will see you on the other side.
Bye!